Okay, today we have a Saab in 2012 for our water leak procedure. So the customer had water on the passenger front footwell and back footwell. So we're just going to show you what we've found so far. So if I just turn my little light on down here on. Right, okay, so the first thing we're going to focus on is the passenger door. So I've got my lever bar just down the outside there so we can put some water down the back of the window. So it should empty out through the bottom of the door, which it is doing. But if we look closely, we can see that it's running past the door membrane. So there we go, so we can see it running in. So then what that would then do is it would then run onto the top of this rubber. It would slowly build up and then it would eventually work its way in. So that would be the first one. Coming to the second leak, we're going to be going up underneath the dashboard. So just to quickly show you, and what I've actually done is I've got my hose laying across the scuttle area where the fan is, and if we just quickly go inside and go underneath the dashboard where the obviously all the air conditioning bits are. So if I can just pull this back a bit. There we go. So we can see that the pollen housing filter is leaking in. So we can see that it's dripping down and then it's filling up the passenger front footwell. So we've got a little bit of marking on the carpet here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but there's a line here on top of the carpet. So that would be the other one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go into the back of the car. The reason being is even though these two do correspond with a passenger footwell being wet, which I will just show you now because I've got the back carpet lifted up a little bit. So we can see that there's water down there, as well as if I give this a squeeze, we can see that that's full of water there. The only funny thing is I did notice on the back seat, we can see there's just a little bit of markage there. On the passenger rear seat, it was actually wet. So we've got the rear seat over here. So if we give this a little bit of a squeeze, so we can see that the water's sitting in that rear seat there. So obviously them two leaks won't correspond to that rear seat getting wet. So what we've then gone and done is we've tested your rear air vents. So if I can just quickly get you up in here a second so you can see what I'm seeing. Right, okay, so at the back there, we've got an air vent. And what that will do is it will start to leak as soon as we put some water on there.